Alright guys, I'm going to do a complete brake change on the 15 Macan S today. We're going to do front and rear. I'm going to break up the video into doing the fronts and then into doing the rears. I'm going to do the fronts first. These are all our boxes full of stuff. Not this stuff, but we're doing rotors, pads, brake sensors, and all that. And we're using genuine Porsche parts here. These are all from Newport Beach Porsche, ordered through my buddy Charlie Kim, who's the service manager there. So if you guys need any parts, hit up Charlie down at Newport Beach Porsche. He always hooks it up with good prices and all that, so check him if you guys need any parts for your Porsche. These are all the miscellaneous bolts, sensors, and all that stuff. So I'll go through exactly what it is that that we need to finish this job, and I'll take you through it as best as I can, step by step, so anyone else at home can try to attempt this job, do it yourself at home, and save some money. So here we go. Alright, so starting with the fronts, we're going to quickly go over the parts list that we have. Here we go. So here are the rotors. Again, the genuine Porsche parts come with slotted rotors on the inside face of the rotors, and then they're blank on the outside surface of the rotors. So we have those. We have brake pads here. So we have a set for the front. And then we also have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff here, which you will also need. You will need brake sensors. Okay, these are brake pad sensors. These clip in to the pads themselves. And as you can see here, as this little surface here starts getting worn down, at a certain point it'll send a notification to your instrument panel notifying you that your pads are low on life. So these need to be replaced. Some clips for the brake calipers. You can probably reuse old ones, but it's not a bad idea to swap these out. And then for whatever reason, Porsche uses these bolts. I believe these are made of magnesium, but Porsche rates them at a one-time use only. So you're going to want to replace these caliper bolts as well. And that's it for the front. So we'll start with the front, and I'll make a separate video for the rears. Alright, so first you want to get the car jacked up safely and remove the wheels. Porsche uses a lug nut lock, which you can find in the trunk under here. It's located right here. Okay. Alright, so once you have the car jacked up and the wheel off, you can start by unclipping the brake sensor. Show you where that is. See this line right here? It's connected to this brake sensor right here. See that right there? That one right there? Right there. So there's a little clip here. You push this down, pull that out, and then this one here you can turn and pull this out too. If you can even see what I'm doing. But that'll come out, and then the caliper will be disconnected from everything minus the brake line. So when we go to remove the caliper, you'll want to have a very sturdy box or something to set the caliper on, so you're not putting stress on the brake line as you're letting it rest. So yeah, we do that. We'll remove these two caliper bolts right here. These use a M14 triple bit socket head thingy. So you'll remove these two, and then this should come loose, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Alright, so once you get the sensor out, you want to get these caliper bolts out. I already removed one, this one that was here. So what I did was I used the breaker bar like this, as well as my jack handle here, and I just broke it loose. Came off pretty easy, it wasn't too bad. So that's the next step. Okay. Alright, so once you have the caliper removed, I just placed it on a shoebox, but you don't want to put too much tension on this brake line right here, if you can see that. Let me get a flashlight. So this is the brake line still attached to the car, still attached to the caliper. You don't want to put too much tension on that. So I just placed caliper on the shoebox there. Next, we want to remove the rotor. There's a, what size is this? It's a T30 triple bit square. This goes in here. I already broke it loose, but carefully don't strip it. It's not in there very tight. That comes out. And then I believe the caliper should just come, or the rotor should just come loose after this. Okay, so yeah, the caliper, I'm sorry, I keep calling it the caliper. The rotor comes loose after you smack it from the back a few times. So remove that. And the interesting thing too on these rotors, you can run your finger across the edge here, and if you feel a lip, it's probably worn down a good amount. Time for some new rotors. Okay, there's about a millimeter, 2 millimeter lip right here on the calipers, or on the rotors, damn it. Alright, so now to replace the pads, if you're on like that, you just squeeze these two together here, they come off like so. Simply remove them. This one has the brake sensor in place, so I'll show you what that looks like here. God damn, it's dirty. So see how it just clips in right there? These pads still have a good amount of meat left. And there's also those gold brackets in here you can replace too. They just pop in and pop out. Should just pop out like this. Alright, I'm not strong enough. Okay, so I got these out. All I did was hammer it from the back right here. And these just come out like that. Okay. Replace those with the new ones. They just clip right back in like so. Just press them in. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but you just press them in. They just push in. It's really easy. Alright, so before you put the new pads in, see these 3 pistons right here? These will have to be pushed in, or else you won't be able to fit it over the new thicker rotor. They have tools that kind of spread here and push these in. If you're strong, you can do it with your thumbs. It takes a bit of force, but that's how I'm going to do it. You just push it in with both your thumbs. It takes quite a bit of force, but it should start moving as you constantly put pressure on those. So make sure to push all 6 of these in as far and evenly as you can before putting in your new pads. Alright, so now I'm at the stage of putting the brake sensor into the pad. These are really easy too. They just clip in like that. You just push down firmly. You should just push down firm. But that's how it looks, like that. Okay, and as you can see, I pushed in these 3 pistons flat. So we'll go ahead and throw these in. Feed the sensor through the opening here first. And then these just reinstall just like the other side. Just get them pushed in as far as you can, like so. And the calipers and the pads are ready to be reinstalled. Now we can throw on the new rotor. So these are labeled left and right. The right side is the passenger side. So you want to line up this little bolt hole that held the rotor in place with this hole right here on the hub. So these just slide right on. You don't have to tighten these terribly tight, okay? All you gotta do is just make sure it's just holding the rotor in place. That's it. Okay. Now, make sure the pads are all the way flush up against the calipers. They can swing this back forward, like so. Should slide right over. Perfect. Okay, boom. You just want to line these back up. I'm sorry if my video angle is bad. Alright guys, so now make sure these caliper bolts are torqued to proper spec. I don't have the exact number on me, you can look that up on Google, but once you get those tight, you want to feed these back through. And notice they run the wire through this brake bleed little cover here. So it goes there like that. And this, you just reinstall it in the reverse order you took it out. Just push that back up, clip that back, boom, push the sensor back in, boom, voila, you're done with the fronts. So that's pretty easy. It's not any different from any other car. Just because it's a Porsche doesn't mean it's any different. It's almost identical to any other big brake kit that I've worked on. This one's really easy. It's just those 2 big caliper bolts holding up the caliper. Once that's removed, you can kind of kick off or wiggle off the caliper off the rotor, and then that's it. Hopefully that helps anybody interested in doing this on their own. I'm just going to clean everything up before I put the wheel back on. Moving on to the rears. Alright guys, alright, bye.